before we jump into this video with the DJI Phantom, I want to remind you that this is not a toy. Though it may seem like it's fun and you can fly it, it is a dangerous tool. If you fly it over people and you lose connection and it falls out of the sky and hits somebody, it's going to hurt them. So remember, be sure to practice first. Understand how the flight patterns work, how to control things, so that when you do run into a situation, you can handle it much better and you're not going to get anybody hurt. But remember, it is not a toy. This is a real deal working flying thing that can go choppity McChopperson on whatever it touches. So be very careful, but enjoy this video. Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com, out here in the park because I have the DJI Phantom Vision 2 that we're going to take off. It's going to be my third flight, but before we do that, I'm going to put on the GoPro on my head so you can see everything that I'm doing in case you get one of these or just want to know how it works. So yes, I understand it's going to mess up my hair and it gives me earmuffs so I can barely hear anything, but here we go. This is the DJI Phantom. This is the Vision 2. This one has a 14 megapixel camera on the bottom of it that takes raw files. It saves them in DNG, and there are profiles in Lightroom for it, as well as taking 1080 at 60 frames interlaced, which I'm going to keep it at 1080 at 30 frames a second. It's a quadricopter, not really called a drone. So you've got your 4 self-tightening thingamabobber propeller things right here. Just follow the directions straight out of the box. The directions are very good. There's the English, there's the Japanese, or the Chinese, or whichever language it's in. Try to follow the English if that's what you do. You have a removable battery right here that gives you 25 minutes. Now, you may think that that's not a lot of power, but the old one, the version 1, used to do 12 minutes. So, boom, that goes in here. Here is your remote. So you have the remote right here. It looks pretty big. Now, when I first got it, it was all white. There was nothing written on it. So what did I have to do? I took the directions and I wrote up and down, and if I move this way, then that's a left turn and that's a right turn, and same thing over here. So we've got a transmitter receiver thing right here so that you can view it on your iPhone. I'm basically going to take my iPhone out, put it on full brightness because it's very bright out, and it's going to sit right here in this area. So some tips for flying. Well, I'm not an expert at this yet, but don't fly it in 30-mile-per-hour winds. I did that out here and it ended up over the water and I couldn't see it or hear it, so I had to find out where it was going. But when you first start out, just do simple things like up and down and turn, and don't try to get too creative and try to stay in sight. Now, the good thing about this thing is that it has GPS inside of it. So it gets the GPS signal, this thing receives that, and if you lose connection between your receiver, your transmitter right here, and the unit, it's going to fly back to the home position, not back to China, which is where it's built, but back to the home position, as long as when you turn this on, you let it pick up the signal for the GPS satellite. The bottom will turn a slow blinking green. The lights on the bottom will do that to let you know that the GPS is ready. So really, it's time to fly. Follow the directions the first time you do it, because you have to rotate this 360 degrees, rotate it 360 degrees this way, so it can orientate itself and find out where it's going. But rule number 1, turn this power on first. It makes an audible noise. Turn this one on, and you do that before you turn on the actual unit itself. So I'm going to end up backing up in a second. I'm going to turn it on so that we can get the Wi-Fi signal. What you do, here it is. You can see that there's a battery charge. You press it once, and then hold it in, and it turns itself on. You can hear it beep, letting you know that it's ready to go. I'm going to let it pick up its GPS signals. See, right now it's not blinking green yet, so I'm going to give it time. While it's doing that, sorry, Steven, I'm going to back up. I'm going to get the app going right here on my phone. Actually, let me go into settings first. Phantom is already connected. Boom. That's what we want. So it just connected to that. So that means that I can go into the app. I can set all of the settings I want. Good, connection is back. I can see the grass. Sorry, Stephen, moving again. I'm going to put this into its holder. So it is very bright out, so you may have trouble seeing this, especially with glasses on. So I'm going to do this for a second. You can see I can get all the settings right here. You can shoot, we're in 1080. You can do the wide, you can do the medium, you can do the tighter shot. I'm going to do the widest shot on 1080 at 30 frames. Done. Large JPEG, but I'm also shooting it in RAW at ISO 100. auto white balance. I've got the looks like matrix metering. I think that's sharpness. You've got some other options down here to handle and format, but right here, you can take a still image and you can do video. So I am ready to fly. Steven, you ready to fly? All right, putting my goggles on, my flight goggles. All right, so now we're gonna take off, but before I do that, I wanna hit record. Boom, I see the blinking light. I'm gonna turn on the quadricopter right here. You hit these two down like this, it gets that initial power. Then I'm gonna go and power it up to fly. And I'm just gonna hover it right about here. You see how I'm not even holding the sticks and it's almost staying in its place? That's because of the GPS. There's a little bit of wind. So I'm just controlling it slightly using the back, over. Let me also get this up on the screen. Tilting the camera up so it sees Steven. Now I'm gonna turn it towards me. Wow, it's really hovering well. That's a good thing. That means the GPS is connected well. Ah, backwards. All right, up, up, rotate. There we go. So basically right now I'm recording with this. It's pretty close to me, but it's very stable. And if I was to lose signal, this thing would probably come back to where it started. So I'm just keeping the rotation. It's just floating with the wind. But now we're ready to go up into the sky to try to get an image. Well, this way, I don't want to, you ready? We're gonna go straight up. And there it goes. And then we watch the screen right here. I can barely see the thing. Let's rotate it. You can see the city. Rotate it all the way around. I can't even see, I can barely see it. There's the water I flew over yesterday. So now I could take pictures up here, not while it's recording video, but all right, let's start to bring it down slowly. When in doubt, if you're having trouble, always hit the up stick on the left hand. That way you'd rather not crash. And I don't want this coming down on the top of my head, but it's coming down pretty quick. It goes about 30 miles an hour, and here it comes. Almost back in the same spot. Right on top of my head. All right, here we go. You also want, oh, that's a big dog. Holy big dog. Make sure that, I just wanted to make sure that the zoom was right. So you got that you can do. That's forward, that's back. Just get used to knowing what you're doing. You can do things like this. That's right. That's left. And if you ever run into trouble, like I said, hit up, because you're not going to crash if you go up unless you've got something above you. And you just want to get used to stuff like this. That's up, forward. It's so much easier when it's not all windy out like this. And now I'm going to bring it back to Steven and we'll go for a landing. Also, what they let me know is it does chew through battery pretty quick, but you want to make sure that you land with about 30% battery life left. Oh, there's a gust of wind. So let's go this way. And here's how we're going to land it. You're going to land it. You want to make sure you put it down. In a windy day, you want to put it straight down. So here I'm going to go ahead and land and hold the stick all the way down until the power turns off. And now the power is off and we're good. I'm going to move closer. Is that good? I'm going to get down here too. So there's that. I'm going to stop the recording. And that's pretty much it. I'm done with this. I'm done with this. I'm going to kill the power to this thing and kill the power to this by hitting the button once, hitting it again, holding it in, and it's off. So it tells me that the connection is gone, and that's really it. It's so much easier to fly on a day that's not extremely windy. When I was fighting it yesterday, the second time I ever flew it, it was over the water, and I couldn't see it. I had to follow it on the screen. So what can I tell you about this? The first time I flew it, it was exhilarating. I haven't flown any, well, I've never flown anything other than in a commercial jet, but it was so much fun to fly something like this, to have control over this. The possibilities that it brings up for business are very interesting. You have to find a solution to use it, what you're going to use it for. You could use it for real estate. You could use it for filming. You can get a GoPro version. This one is not as stable, the Vision 2, because it doesn't have the 3-way axis or the 2-way axis gimbal head. But maybe in the future they'll come out with one of those, if not soon, that will take this Vision camera and make it better. So it's great that it does RAW files. If you're shooting weddings and you want to do a group shot of the whole wedding, take this thing outside, take the group shot of people, and there you have it. So this is just us using the DJI Phantom Vision 2 right out here in the park. So that's it. Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com. See ya.